Hi everyone, good morning. So yesterday we learned about how to record using a browser, using through non-test elements, right? So the same way we need to record using the other browsers like Chrome and Internet Explorer also. Okay, the process will be the same. And one more thing, what I want to tell you is about this certificate, right? Yesterday I mentioned about the certificate, right? Initially, when we download Jmeter in bin folder, you don't see the certificate by default. But when you start recording for the first time using non-test elements, this certificate will get downloaded automatically. So the reason for this certificate is some HTTPS applications we cannot record without this certification. Okay. If you are not able to record any of your application, then you need to install the certificate. So by default, once you get this certificate after the first record, install this certificate straight away. Okay. How do you install it? Double click, install, next, finish. Okay, this is one way. And if you are recording in Chrome browser, Firefox, open Firefox, go to settings, certificate, okay, view certificate, and import. Okay, I'm importing this root certificate here. Just trust everything and okay. So your root certificate is successfully installed in your Firefox browser, right? If you are using Internet Explorer, you can double click on that certificate and install like the first way, right? If you are using Firefox, you need to import the certificate like this. Okay, that's it. This is how you need to import or install your certificate. Okay, so one way we learned yesterday how to record your script using HTTPS test script recorder. Another way to record your script is using Jmeter. You have something called Jmeter Chrome extension. Okay, if you search in Google about Jmeter Chrome extension, this will come. Just click here. Okay, and you just need to add this Chrome extension, Jmeter Chrome extension. Okay, I have added this Jmeter Chrome extension now. Now what I need to do, I close this. Help in this. Okay, so this is our Jmeter Chrome extension, right? So if you click here, this is what you will see, this little pane. So now by clicking on record, you can start browsing. Whatever you browse, it will record automatically. Okay, but after recording, you can download your .jmx file directly from here. But in order to download that, you need to sign up. You need to sign up first, or you need to log in. If you have an account, you need to log in. Okay, that's how you register. It's a normal registration. Okay, that's it. So now you can see I have registered successfully, right? So now whatever you like, like we need to record our performance testing practice.com website, right? So what I do, you have to launch your screen, right? You don't need to do any proxy settings for this. Nothing is required. So what you need to do is just enter the test name and just saying practice, and I am clicking on start record. Okay. I am launching the screen and you can see it is recording, right? So what is my next transaction? Login, right? So I'll say 02 underscore login. I'm adding a step and after that I'm clicking on login. And after that 03 underscore sign in. Oh God. Next, log out. Okay. So I have recorded and now I will stop recording. If you open this, you will see something called save option here, right? You just need to click here and see it is asking for select the scripts to save. You can save this as a Selenium script. You can save this as a Jmeter script also. Okay. Now I'm saving this as a Jmeter script. I'm clicking here. Okay. And saving this. So now it is automatically exporting and saving this as a Jmeter file. See, perfpractice.jmx file. Now open your Jmeter and browse this script. Where is the script? This script is under downloads folder. See, since we did not recorded the launch transaction, so it took the transaction name automatically as test. So you can rename it as 01 launch. Okay. So it is creating the transaction controllers automatically. You don't need to do anything. There you just need to give your transaction names. It will create the controllers automatically. And inside that, see, you have your samplers, right? In login also you have your samplers. And this is logout, right? You forgot to give sign in. I forgot to give enter sign in there. So that is the reason it didn't include that transaction. I am including it now and I'm dragging it here. Okay. This is sign in, right? So this is the advantage of having Jmeter in your project. So you don't need to record it using HTTPS test script sampler. You don't need to do those proxy settings and all. You can record it directly using this Jmeter, right? That is the advantage. Okay, fine. Correct. If you record in Jmeter, it will consider what are the what are the config elements. It will consider that it will include automatically. Okay. I will talk about these elements in my future classes, but I'll have to tell you about this cookie manager and cache manager, right? So in real time also for real, when you're doing some browsing for any applications, you have this cookies and cache, right? What is cache? What is application cache? Yeah, whenever you are hitting an application, for example, you are launching the screen, right? You are launching this screen, right? What is happening when you are launching the screen? It will hit the server and then you will get the response from the server, right? From second time onwards, it is taking very quickly. It is launching very quickly. And first time it took some time, right? What is the reason behind that? Yes, the reason behind that is when you are browsing any website for the first time, what will happen? It will hit the server and it will download the cache and it will store that cache into your laptop, into your local drive, right? What is this cache? This cache contains these non-HTML resources. I was talking about this non-HTML resource in my last class, right? That JS files, CSS files, image files, whatever images you are seeing in the screen, that is all those image files and all, it will get from the server once we hit for the first time. And from second time onwards, it is loading very quickly. The reason behind that is it is already cache is stored in the local. So it is getting all these image files from the local device. It will not connect to the server. So this caching is very important for your application performance. Okay. So you need to replicate this cache. You need to replicate this browser cache to your tool also. So you are using a tool here. If you don't include this cache manager, what will happen? It will not consider that browser cache. Every time it will hit the server, every time it will try to download these images. So that is not the right performance, right? So at the end, you need to replicate your you need to replicate your browser. Your tool should replicate your browser. That you need to keep in mind. So your browser is downloading the cache. Your browser is dealing with your cookies also. Okay, cookies also it will deal with cookies, right? For most of the websites, it will ask for accept cookies and all that, right? So this cache manager and cookie manager you need to add here. Okay, you need to add this cache manager and cookie manager, and remaining things I'll explain you when I go to this this particular portion. Okay, so this is how you need to record your script using Jmeter, right? So two ways of recording. One is using HTTPS non-test elements, and second way using Jmeter, right? In your companies, you might not get access to the Jmeter. In current project which I'm working for, I have access to Jmeter. I can record my scripts using Jmeter, right? So in most of the scenarios, you might not get internet access, because for Jmeter you need internet access to download that extension or to add that Chrome extension. You need access to internet, right? You will not get that sometimes. Then you have to record your script using HTTPS non-test elements, right? So these are the two ways. There is one more way also, which you can go through later, because that way is not important and we are not using that way nowadays. Bad boy, using bad boy software also you can record your script, but you can go through this and try this out at home. Okay, I'm not going to explain this now. It is normally, I mean, it is like very easy only. You just need to download the software. I gave you the link, okay, and install that, and using that, this link, this particular software has recording option. You just need to, it will be like this. Okay, whatever I'm showing you now in the screen, it will be like this. So it looks like a browser. The software itself will look like a browser. It has this URL portion and all. You can give the URL directly here and start your recording. So your recording steps will get recorded like this. Okay, this is the third way. But anyway, we cannot download this bad boy software in your project, because they'll not allow you download these kind of softwares in your project. Okay, but this is the third way. Okay, if your things are not working in first two ways, sometimes your application, you cannot record your application using your HTTPS script recorder. Then you have to choose the second way, which is Blazemeter. If you don't have Blazemeter access, then you have to choose this third way. Okay. So these are the three ways to record your script. Right. Okay. Now let us record and run one script. Okay. So how are you recording? I'm adding thread group, and under that I'm adding a recording controller, but I can add directly transaction controller also. And how many transactions I have? Launch, login, sign in, and log off. So I will say launch, login, sign in, and log off. Okay. Now I need to add HTTPS test script recorder. Okay. So what is my next step? Just a second. Okay. So I need to go here and give the proxy. I'm giving manual proxy, and I'm giving here local host and 8888. And remember that it is not necessary that you should always give 8888. You can give any 4-digit number here as a port, and whatever number you are giving there, it should reflect the same here. In your Jmeter and in your proxy, the port number should match. You can give any 4-digit number, 1 2 3 4 or 999 or something, right? So okay. Now I am, so the default target controller here is use recording controller. If I start recording from here, it won't work because we don't have recording controller. We have transaction controllers. So you can directly include your transaction controllers. Just click here and select the launch, because you're launching the application first, right? So, and what else you need to do? You need to do request filtering, add suggested excludes, and what else? Dot star. Okay. And now I will start recording. And remember that this certificate which I installed, CA root certificate, is valid only for 7 days. After 7 days, again you need to reinstall the same certificate. Okay. And now you don't need to write anything here because I have already included my transaction controller. Okay. So what I will do, I will directly record. So this is my launch screen, and my second transaction is again login, right? So select login, and I am clicking on login, and my third transaction is sign in. Select sign in, and I'm clicking on I have logged in, and my final transaction is log out. Right? Okay. So now I will stop my recording. Now you can check. This is my login. This is my sign in, and this is my logout. Okay. And ikkada I got, again, see, I got what I got here. Mozilla.com. We have filtered Firefox.com. We got Mozilla.com because this is not Firefox.com. That is why this got recorded. Now you can delete this. Okay. And if you want to filter this, you know how to filter it now. Right? See Google.com. Right. I'm deleting this. What is your next step? You have recorded, and how do you need to run this? By adding a listener, right? I'm adding view results tree, and I'm just running this for with one user, one iteration. Just once I am running this, and just to check if it is working or not, right? And let me run. So it ran successfully. Everything is green, but make sure it is little clumsy, right? Right. You are seeing the samplers here, and here is transaction controller. Again, you are seeing sampler and transaction controller, right? So you can just select this option. For every transaction controller, you have generate parent sample, right? You select this checkbox and see what will happen after this. See? So it will run in a good format now, right? You have 4 transaction controllers: launch, login, sign in, and logout. So if you open each and everything, inside that you will find your samplers. So everything ran successfully. Let us see if it is really successful or not, right? Let us open HTML view. Okay, I have selected HTML view instead of text view, just to check if the pages are coming successfully or not, right? I am clicking on launch first. Okay, I'm clicking a sampler inside that, and I'm seeing if the launch page is successful or not. This is my launch page, right? Fine. And the next page is login. So this is what you need to see in login, right? And my next page is sign in, right? But is your sign in page successful? No, it is not successful because you are still seeing your login page only here. You are not seeing your sign in page here. So what should you see here? So after login, what you should see, something like this, right? Select your image and all this profile, my profile and Vamshi, Nandulan, all that my information you should see. But you are not seeing that. But you are getting green everywhere. So don't think that you are seeing green. That means that doesn't indicate that your script is successful. So there are, you still, you have to consider that your script is a failure, though you are seeing green, because you are not seeing the right page here. This is how you need to validate in your projects also. Since you are getting green, don't consider, never consider that your script is successful, right? Here your script is not successful because sign in, you are not seeing the right page, right? The reason why you are not seeing the right page is because, so whenever you log in to any of your application, whether it can be Gmail or Yahoo or any website. So initially, when you log in with your user ID and password, you will see a session ID in your URL, right? Have you ever observed that session ID? You will see some session ID, right? For example, take Google only. See what is this? This is a session ID which you get from the server, right? Which you are getting from the server. So if I log into my Google or Yahoo for the first time, you will get a you might get one session ID, right? Like for example, if you logged into your Google, like okay, like you'll see gmail.com, and finally session ID is equal to something. It will be there like this, right? And you will see your username nvs.gururaj, and password will be something. Okay, it will be encrypted, right? So you logged in and you have checked your mails, emails, and you logged out, right? And after some time again you log in, right? This time you will see this URL, you will see session ID is equal to, but you will see a different session ID now, not the same session ID which you are getting in the above step. Okay, your session ID will change and the remaining details will remain the same again, right? The remaining details will remain the same. So number of times you log in any number of times, this session ID will always change. Okay. The same thing is happening in our script also in performancepractice.com. What is happening there? When you log into your Gmail for first time, it is generating one session ID. And when you log in for the second time, it is generating a different session ID. Same way for our performancetestingpractice.com also, you recorded a script. That means you logged in for the first time. And it is giving one session ID while you record. And what is happening after recording? What we did? Try to replay, or we try to run our script, right? That means we are trying to log in for the second time, right? What is happening? It is expecting a different session ID. And are we generating a different session ID? What session ID has been captured in our script for the first time? These are our session IDs which are captured in the script. And we are trying to run for the second time by giving the same session IDs. Are we changing our session IDs? No. So it is expecting a different session ID for the second time, right? I will show you that clearly here. Okay. So I'm logging in with my user, right? See, I logged in, right? And this is what I am getting at login, right? Login.php and dashboard.php is this is what you are seeing here, right? Login.php and dashboard.php. That is what you are seeing here, right? So you can see the same steps in our developer tools also. You know this developer tools, right? In browser, if you press F12 and browse it, and you just need to select on network, so you will get this requests and responses, whatever you are sending server and whatever you are getting from the server. You can see all those requests here in developer tools, right? Okay. So here in my login.php, see what session ID are you getting here? You are getting this session ID, right? So let me copy everything in a notepad. Okay, let me copy this session ID. Okay, this is your session ID, and there is one more token called CSRF token. I'm copying this also. Okay, this is your CSRF token. Okay, This is what is captured for the first time when you log in. Okay, let us log out and log in once again. Okay, I'm going to log in once again, and again I'll press F12. Okay, this is my login.php, and I'll go to request here. So, and this is my session ID, which is coming for the second time. Okay, and this is my CSRF token, which is coming for the second time, right? So tell me, is it matching or not? Your session ID, when you are logging in for the second time, it is not matching. And your CSRF token, when you are logging in for the second time, it is not matching. So how do you expect your script to pass? That is the reason it is not giving you the right screen, because you have hard coded your session IDs. When you record your script, these are the session IDs which got captured for the first time. And you are not capturing your session IDs properly when you are logging in for the second time, when you are running your script. So you need to dynamically capture these session IDs. Every time when you are running your scripts, these session IDs should change automatically, right? So you need to dynamically capture these session IDs. That process in performance testing is called correlation. Okay, this is an important concept in performance testing. Maybe it is a basic concept for freshers. It's a definite interview question which you will get. So this is the main core part of your scripting, correlation in performance testing script, in performance testing scripting, whether it can be Jmeter or whether it can be load runner, whether it can be neoload, or it can be any performance testing tool. You need to handle this correlation. The process will be the same. The functions might change. The process to capture these session IDs remains the same. So what is correlation? Correlation is the way to capture your session IDs dynamically and pass into your script, so that in the further iterations, it will capture the session IDs automatically, right? So how do you capture these session IDs now? How do you capture these session IDs? So you need to find a way to capture these session IDs. Initially, this is what got recorded initially. When I recorded the script, I got this session ID. But when I am replaying the script, I am getting a different session ID. So now what is your main goal? You need to capture this session ID. So every time when you are running, it should give the latest session ID, right? So let us find out what we need to do. So for this correlation, what you need to capture the session ID. So for capturing the session ID, which value is changing here? Always in this particular value, in this particular line, which is changing every time. This is what is changing every time, right? And the value which I highlighted now, this is common, and this is common, right? This we call it as left boundary, and this we call it as right boundary, right? So we have to give these left and right boundaries to capture this middle session ID. That is what we are going to do to capture this particular session IDs or tokens in Jmeter, right? So we need to find out what is our left boundary, and we need to find out what is our right boundary. And we need to find out in such a way that our left boundaries should never change, and our right boundaries should never change. See, if you give this as your left boundary, tomorrow if this TW changes to SW or something, it won't work, because we have given this as left boundary. We have included TW also in our left boundary. If this is changing and tomorrow, it won't work. Our correlation will fail. So we have to take our left and right boundaries in such a way that they should not change in the near future also. Okay, fine. Let us find out how to do that. So our goal is to capture these IDs, this session ID and CSRF token. Okay, so we ran our script, and where are you getting the session IDs, by the way? At login, right? So where do you find the login in view results tree? This is our login part, right? What is the before step? Login.php, this one, right? So you need to go to this. I mean, this is the step, right? So go to this before step. Here is where you are getting this session IDs, right? If I go to the request, you can see the session ID. See, session ID equal to so and so, and CSR of token equal to so and so, right? So I am going to the before step. Okay, before step, I'll go to response data, and I will select text view, and here I will just find session. And I'm just giving session as a text, and I'm just finding out. See, I got some session ID here, right? This is the expected session ID. This is what the script is expecting. This is what the expected session ID is. What is the session ID? It starts with 140. It is ending with 752. But what are we passing? 256616. That is why it is failing. Okay. So have to capture this session ID. How do you capture this session ID? Let me put this in a notepad. So you have to capture this particular session ID. How do you capture this session ID? As I said before, you need to give your left and right boundary for this to capture the session ID, right? So I am taking this as my left boundary. I'm taking this as my left boundary. And what is your right boundary? I'm taking this as my right boundary. I'm taking this as my right boundary. So what is happening? So I'm taking this as my left boundary. That means I'm taking this as my left boundary. You can take full, no problem, nothing wrong in that. Okay, you can take completely this full as your left boundary. And what is your right boundary? This. And what are you capturing? This is what you are capturing. How do you know that you have to only capture this? Why don't you capture value equal to also? Why are you capturing only this? How do you know that? Because in my script, what do you see in your actual script, in your actual sampler? Session ID, under session ID, what is there? TW hyphen this ID, and it is ending with WAR, WR, right? So that is what I'm capturing. TW hyphen, it is ending with WR. This portion I am capturing. Okay. So I'm taking this as my left boundary and this as my right boundary. And you need to form your regular expression now to capture your session ID, to capture using regular expression, right? We have used regular expressions yesterday also. For what we use regular expression? To filter the few requests, right? How did we filter it? Dot star slash Firefox. We filtered like this, right? The same kind of regular expressions we need to use to capture these IDs, right? So I got my left boundary. My left boundary is this, and I got my right boundary. My right boundary is this. So let us form the regular expression. So this is my regular expression to capture my session ID. So what is my left boundary in this regular expression? This is my left boundary. And what is my right boundary? This is my right boundary. And what this regular expression says is you should capture any value. Any value means I gave dot star question mark. Question mark, I'll come to that later. What is question mark? For now, you remember this. Dot star question mark indicates that you should capture any value between this left and right boundary. What is there in between your left and right boundary? This particular session ID, right? It will capture that session ID. That means what we are doing here tomorrow, like I'm replaying, I am running the script now. I'll run the script tomorrow. I'll run the script after 100 days. So what a session ID you get between this left and right boundary, it will capture that latest session ID. You can run any number of times. It will capture the latest session ID and it will pass in the script. Okay. Now you need to give this particular regular expression in your script. How do you give that in your script? Okay, where did you capture this regular expression? Where did you capture this session ID? In login, right? So you need to write your regular expression in login only because you captured there, right? Right. Just click on login in login sampler and right click there. Add something. You need to add something called post processor and you need to select regular expression extractor. Okay. So we have added regular expression extractor and here you have name of created variable, regular expression, template, match number and something, right? So you see regular expression here. So whatever regular expression you created here, copy that and paste it here. So what it is capturing? It is capturing your session ID. It is capturing your session ID here. Using your left and right boundary, it is capturing your session ID. Okay. So this regular expression will capture your session ID and it should pass your session ID to a variable now, right? So you have to declare a variable here. So I will say dine you can give any name here. Okay, I'm just giving dine underscore session ID. Okay, you can give any name. Okay, but the good practice is to give name something related to your application. You can give your name also, but that is not a good practice, right? Good practice is to give the name related to your application. You are capturing a session ID, okay, and you are capturing your session ID dynamically. So I just gave dine underscore session ID, right? Fine. See, you know, dot star question mark means it will capture any value, right? And I gave this opening and closing brackets, right? This indicates group. This indicates group. So how many groups are there in this particular regular expression? Only one group, right? So I will just give $1. See, $I where I is the capturing group number. Okay. So how many groups are there for me here? Only one group. So I gave $1 and that's it. Okay, that's it. See, this match number is nothing but, for example, I am okay. Let me copy the whole regular expression. I'll go to view results tree. Here I am capturing my session ID, right? Under I have selected text view. You have something called regular expression tester also. Okay, you have created regular expression now. Let us test that regular expression. Okay, you have selected regular expression tester and you give your regular expression here and click on text test. See? So you can test your regular expression here if it is capturing the right value or not. See, it is capturing the value. See, it is, this is the value which you need, right? Okay. So this match number is nothing but, I go to the text view and with your left boundary, just search once. Are you getting your session ID? In first search only you are getting your session ID and search again. You're not seeing anything. How many instances are there? How many session IDs are there? Only one. So this match number is nothing but that indicates that. Okay, you have to give one here because you are able to search your session ID by clicking on only one search. So you have to give one. You don't need to give one also because by default it will take one. Okay, by default, if you don't give anything, it will take one. Okay, but in case if you are finding your session ID in the second instance, for the first instance, you are getting a different value which you don't need. You are getting your session ID in the second search. Then what you need to give here? 2. Then definitely you need to give 2. Otherwise, it will capture the first value, but that is not the value which you need, right? Since here I am getting my session ID in first search, I need to give only 1, and you don't need to give anything also because by default it will take 1, right? So now you have given the regular expression for line session ID. So follow the same way for CSRF token also. So you have one more ID which you need to capture, which is CSRF. So this is that value, right? Copy. Just here, right? Okay. See, which one you have to capture here? Tell me. This is the value which you need to capture. How do you know that is the value which you need to capture? Go to your under sign in, go to login.php. See, this is the value, right? The same kind of value. It looks like same again, right? You can easily identify. It is also ending with equal to at the end. See, equal to, right? So you need to capture until equal to. So what is your left boundary here? This is your left boundary. And what is your right boundary? This is your right boundary. And my regular expression is dot star question. Okay. Copy. And add one more regular expression extractor here. I have added. Okay. And give the regular expression for CSRF also. So this is my CSRF, and I'll make it line underscore CSRF. Okay. And group remains the same, and match number also 1, but not giving anything. So we have captured session ID and we have captured CSRF token also, right? And you can happily remove these things. You can give until double quote also. See what I did? You have slash and greater than symbol also, right? But you don't need this. You can include that. You can also remove that because we have given the left boundary. Enough left boundary we give. Right boundary you can just give double quotes. That should be fine, right? So I am just giving double quotes only. Here also you can remove this greater than symbol. That's okay. Nothing will happen because you have given enough left boundary, right? And you have captured both. But how do you know whether it is capturing successfully or not, right? So 1 second, let me save this script. Okay, I will say login.jmx. Under bin, I'm saving this script. Okay. So I am adding something called debug sampler. Okay. So I'm adding something called debug sampler. So what it will do is whatever variables you are capturing here, what variables are you capturing? Line session ID and CSRF token. So those variables will reflect in this particular sampler. Let me run and show you. Okay. See, you ran previously you ran one iteration. So you want to clear that, right? So there is an option in Jmeter to clear that. See, there are two options. You can clear all will clear everything. Clear, this will clear only in this listener. If you have, see, there are many listeners in Jmeter. I will explain you when I go to the topic. So if you have 5 to 6 listeners here, if you say clear, it will capture only the listener which you currently opened, right? If I say clear all, it will clear all the results for all the listeners, right? Fine. Cleared, and I'm running it now. So your debug sampler also ran, right? Right, whatever debug sampler you added previously, it ran. So what you can see in debug sampler is this: whatever values you are capturing in debug sampler. So what values are you capturing there? Dyne CSRF. So Dyne CSRF got captured successfully. That is why you are seeing this, right? And what else you captured? Dyne session ID. Dyne session ID also captured successfully. Let us put this in a notepad and let's see if these are changing every time or not. So this is your Dyne session ID. This is your Dyne CSRF, right? Right. I'm clearing it and running once again. See, your Dyne session ID and Dyne CSRF are changing successfully. So you are, see, changing successfully, right? You run any number of times, so it will change successfully. So you captured your session ID and CSRF token successfully now. So what is your next step? You captured now. You just captured. So you need to pass these in your script now. Pass, you just need to pass, right? You just captured as of now. So what you need to pass? You need to pass this Dyne session ID in your script. Dyne CSRF and Dyne session ID in your script. So let's copy Dyne session ID. Under Dyne session ID, what you have? The value. There you need to pass under login. You have session ID here. This session ID is captured when you recorded initially. So pass now you are passing it, right? How do you pass it? Is like this, right? You cannot give Dyne session ID like this here. It won't work like that. You have to do something like this: dollar curly braces Dyne session ID, and you have to end the curly braces. This is the way to pass a variable in your script. You have to give dollar curly braces and your variable name and close the curly braces, right? And how do you pass your CSRF token? Dollar curly braces Dyne CSRF. Okay. Now you passed the values. Now you passed the variable successfully your script. So, and don't forget to add your key manager and cache manager. Okay. Add these things. What will happen if you don't add these things is your script may not pass, though you have correlated, though you have captured using a regular expression, though you passed your variables successfully, then also your script will fail because of these things. So make sure you add cookie manager and cache manager. You don't need to do anything, just add this. That's it. Under config elements, you will see cookie and cache manager. Just add those. Okay. So now everything is done. You have passed successfully. Now let us run. So it ran successfully. Go to your debug sampler. So this is your CSRF token and this is your session ID. It passed successfully. And let us go to the sign in page now and let's check and open HTML view. Okay. So that is the process of doing correlation, right? Everyone understood? Any doubts? So this is very important concept. If you don't understand this, ask me again. I will tell you in my next class also, because without this we cannot proceed further. This is very important, right? So go home and practice this, and tomorrow we can continue with the next concept, right? And if you have any doubts, ask me tomorrow. I will start with this correlation concept again. I'll explain you. But this is very important. This is 100% interview question. You'll get this for sure. For any 3+ year candidate, you'll get this. Not only 3+, for any performance test experienced guy, you will get this correlation questions for sure. So this is basic correlation things. Whatever you captured is basic correlation concepts. But in your projects, you will find, you will see different challenges in correlation. For example, your boundaries, you will see dynamic boundaries here. Your boundaries are also changing dynamically. Then how you need to handle, I'll explain you that in my further sessions. But this is the basic correlation concept. Okay. There are some other ways to capture your session IDs and things. Now you captured using regular expression extractor, right? Under post processor, you have used regular expression extractor. You can also use boundary extractor. What you need to do with boundary extractor? In regular expression extractor, you have created a regular expression like this. But in boundary extractor, you have left boundary and right boundary. You have to give your left boundary here. What is your left boundary? This is your left boundary, right? You just need to give this left boundary here. That's it. And what is your right boundary? This is your right boundary, right? You just need to give variable name. That's it. Line session ID. It will be easier for you. Boundary extractor is easier for you. So you can start with boundary extractor also. But why do we use regular expression is for complex correlations. As I said before, correlations will not be easy in your projects. You will find it, you will see some complex values which you need to capture. That time, these regular expressions will be very useful. Okay. You might see change in your boundaries only. Your boundaries might be changing dynamically. Okay. So those things will happen in your projects. That if those things are happening, then you cannot capture those values using your boundary extractor. So that time regular expression extractor will be very helpful. So make it as a practice to use only regular expression extractor. So you can capture any kind of value using regular expressions. I will take this regular expression as a different topic at my end of the sessions. Okay. What challenges you might get in your projects and I'll explain you in brief that class. Okay. So now go home and practice this correlation things and let me know if you are facing any issues tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow I'll continue with my further topic. Any doubts? You can ask me now, or else I will meet tomorrow.
One simple question.
Ravi, yes.
Yeah, sir. In the projects, do you think generally, do you think the Jmeter or the bad boy would be allowed, or
in my project Jmeter is allowed. In most of the projects, it is not allowed because we will not get internet access.
And also the Chrome plugins, they don't allow the
Chrome extensions.
They don't allow.
That is why I told you about the first, the first way to record is using non-test elements.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah.
So record all your, when you are practicing, practice in this way only.
Okay.
Record your scripts using. See, there is other way also. See, sometimes what will happen is sometimes you'll end up in it will be difficult for you to record using HTTPS test script recorder, and you don't have access to your Jmeter bad boy softwares. And with HTTPS test script recorder also things are not working, you are unable to record. Then what you need to do is have to open developer tools. You know this developer tools, right? I explained you already.
Yeah.
Developer tools, you'll get these things, right?
Yeah.
By browsing, like
yeah.
after like once you give user ID and password, this will get generated, right? These two things. So you can download this as a HAR file, save all as a HAR file, right?
Okay.
Just save everything as a HAR file. So now under downloads, save that HAR file. Okay.
Okay.
I will say sign in. Okay. Okay. Go to my downloads. Where is that? Where did I download it? Save all as a HAR file. Download.
Bin.
Acha, sorry. Yeah. Let's go to bin then. I think this one only, right? Okay, let me delete this one. Okay, let me download it once again. Okay, save all as HAR, and under downloads, I'm downloading. I'm saying sign in dot HAR. Okay, so this is a HAR file, right? This file type is HAR, right?
Yeah.
So you have downloaded this as a HAR file. So what is your next step is you need to go to Google and just you need to give you just need to give HAR to JMX converter. So you will definitely have access to this. Okay, they will definitely give you access to this. So this will just convert your HAR file to your Jmeter file, which is JMX file. So I am uploading this HAR file and I'll say convert. Download. See, download JMX, right? I'm downloading it. So it downloaded successfully. Sign in.jmx. Let us upload that. Under downloads, sign in.jmx. This one, right?
Yeah.
See. So through HAR file also, you can convert your HAR file to JMX file and upload the See, the same things are there right here. Session ID, CSRF token and everything. Right?
Oh.
You can also do that. You can also convert your HAR file to your JMX file. So there are many ways to record your script. So don't think that if it is not recording using HTTPS test script recorder, your next way is to record it through BlazeMeter. BlazeMeter is not accessible, then your final option is this. Okay.
Yeah.
Go to developer tools, save your requests in HAR format and convert your HAR to JMX.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. See, because 1 second. Enter. Doc kaadu. See, every time when I'm clicking this previous logs are getting deleted, right? If I'm clicking on logout, previous logs are getting again. If I'm clicking on home page, previous logs are again getting deleted. There is an option here in developer tools to save those previous logs. previous logs ni preserve change. We can preserve the previous logs. There is an option here. I'm just finding out that option. You can see that in Chrome. For example, if I am clicking here, preserve log. This preserve log, if you select this preserve log, what will happen is you can do all transactions here. So this is the sign in, this is the log launch page. It got recorded, right? And my next step is login. So it is also getting recorded, right? Next step. Sign in. It got recorded. And finally, log out. Everything got recorded. So what is your next step? You can save everything in HAR format. Okay, like that also you can do. Save all as HAR with content. It is also like a Blazemeter. Okay, if Blazemeter is not accessible, you can download this as a HAR file and convert that to JMX. Okay, this website is definitely accessible. HAR to JMeter, HAR to JMX conversion. They'll give you access to that. That's for sure.
Srinivas here.
Yes, yes.
So now in Chrome browser, we find the preserve log, right? If we using and save it as a R file, can we able to run in different browsers also?
Can't be able to run?
In different browser, like Firefox and IE also we can run it.
What do you mean by running it in different browsers?
Means now using the Chrome, we kept the preserve log icon and saving the R file, and we're converting it to the Jmeter file, right?
Yes.
And we are importing to our Jmeter tool.
Correct.
So if we run it, can we? It will run into different, like for Firefox, so it will run, or Internet Explorer also it will run. It will run in Chrome only.
See, we can do preserve logs in all browsers. You can do preserve logs in Firefox. You can do preserve logs in IE. You can do preserve logs in Chrome also. Okay? But you can download this and convert that to JMX file. But your question is, while running, in which browser it will run?
Yes, right.
It is not that it will run in any browser. It is running in Jmeter, right? It is running in Jmeter. Jmeter is itself is acting as a browser there.
Yeah, got it.
Okay?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fine. Then let's meet tomorrow. Okay? If you don't have any questions.